This morning, I want us to look at cybersecurity. Let's look at tips and things to properly protect your digital assets, right? In recent times, security have become all right. In recent times, um, we're having serious challenges with security, and as AI evolves, we'll be facing a whole lot of cybersecurity challenge generally because as you get smarter, as AI gets smarter, and you use them and we use them to for productivity, the other way around, the bad guys also use it for um to commit crime for their crime. So it also helps them to accomplish whatever they want faster, just like the way it helps us as well. So we want to look at what cybersecurity, cybercrime industry, and how the most pervasive cyber attacks vector looks like now. Social engineering, ransom, denial of service attack, and the rest of that, right? Nuance and all that. How do we keep safe? And some of the things that you can use on daily basis to protect your secure your digital assets. So cybersecurity is the art of protecting electronic systems. Anything you do to protect your electronic system, your data, to protect access to a particular data or something, all is referred to as digital assets. So its aim is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information and services in a connected world. With an increasing number of people getting connected to the internet, the security threat that causes massive harm also increasing. So, why is cybersecurity important? Cybersecurity is important because we need to protect all our data from either damage or theft because the bad guys come for two reasons, either to destroy your data or to steal your information, right? Cybersecurity core function is to protect the device we all use, like your smartphone, laptop, tablet, and computer, and the service we access both online and at work from theft or damage. So, cybercrime is any misconduct carried out through a network, technical gadget, or the internet. While some are intended to cause harm to the victim, the vast majority are committed for financial gain. Just all right. So, first of all, the cyber criminals uses in fact, anything you do, right? Anything you do that um any misconduct, right? Any misconduct you carry out through the use of technical gadgets, internet, that networking generally, right? Your intention may be to harm the victim or steal their data, damage their computer, or whatever. They have committed a cybercrime, right? So there is two category of this when where the where the cyber criminals where the cyber criminals target um use a computer to attack other computers, right? And then there's another category that use computer as a weapon, right? So use computer to commit the real life crime, like stealing people money, transferring money illegally, or causing any kind of um form of misconduct with the internet. And then when you use your computer, to attack other computer, like you use your computer to encrypt the data in the other computer or send denial of service attacks kind of a thing so that you deny access to that target computer and all that. So basically use the computer to attack the other computer. That's another category. There is emerging trend in the cybercrime landscape. Cyber attacks are becoming more collaborative and specialized, all right? If you are familiar with the dark web today, literally a lot of um, cyber criminals there does not have like a technical skill per se, but they are leveraging on community collaboration, right? On dark web, if you want any tools to carry out any crime, you can actually get it at affordable price or maybe free, based depending on the community. All right. So you don't really have to build the tools ground up yourself. Someone has already built it and then teach you how to use it and to commit crime, basically. So that's what the likes of Yahoo Boys use today. That's what they do. Not like they are techie savvy, but the tools are out there. So it's becoming collaborative. You have a community. Some of them even on WhatsApp groups, on Telegram, they share these tools and teach themselves how to use it and all that. So basically, that's where we are right now, right? So cyber criminals are now leveraging on advanced tools and techniques like your machine learning and AI, right? So they are also automating the process flow of attacks or whatsoever um, with AI and machine learning. This is what we see as at 2025. The this is how the cybercrime market is growing, right? It's a very big industry, it's a very huge industry. Imagine industry that grows from below 1 billion to 11 billion within 5 years. So it's highly profitable. That's why it keeps attracting a whole lot of people, right? So this money you are seeing here, 14.5 billion as at 2024 and 17 point something billion as at 2025, they are not fictional, right? They are real money, money that company loses. People like you and I lose it on daily basis to the bad guys, all right? So what do we now do to reduce this money so that they no longer have access to this money? There are things you need to do as an organization and as an individual. If you if you um, secure your digital assets, secure your gadgets, talk about physical security and logical security. Basically, if you keep this thing in place, they will not have access to your phone, your digital asset, and it continue growing because while you are sleeping, the bad guys are awake, looking and searching for vulnerability in system, looking for your weak point. All right. So that's why we find this growing. There are popular targets for cyber attacks. The first one is web application, right? Because it's publicly facing and all that, right? So they can access it from anywhere in the so over 56% of attack comes via web application. And then mail server compromise, right? They can compromise your mail server, be able to send out mail, maybe to your client, right? Imagine you have a big business and you are requesting funds from those business or maybe your bank and all that. They compromise your mail server and they send out mail. And because the mail comes from your mailbox, from your mail server, the bank will honor you it. Your partner will honor it and all that. So, and this is what they use to actually make. And then desktop and laptop, right? They get connected to your system, steal information, sensitive data, use the sensitive data for um, whatever they want to use it for. So, what are the most pervasive cyber attack vector? The first one is social engineering. Social engineering is very, very common, right, today because the cyber attack is like one of the easiest ways to steal people information, leveraging on people inclinations um to trust. All right. So what they do is they trick you psychologically for you to reveal your confidential information to them. First of all, they present themselves to gain your trust. All right. And after getting your trust, you now begin to relax sensitive information to them, right? So social engineering is is one of the common cyber attack vectors in the world today because that act don't necessarily require technical skills, right? It doesn't require technical skills. So any criminal can actually start with that. Once they get there, because they can actually get a lot of information from you. Then we have the ransomware, just like the name ransom comes in, right? So the ransomware is a malicious software that encrypts file or lock a victim computer or network. When the attacker lock your or encrypt your data, the request for money to the request for money to release your data or whatsoever, right? Or to unlock your network and all that, right? So once you pay the ransom, they release it. But it doesn't always work like this. 60% of ransomware attacks never get recovered, even if after paying ransom, because some of the attackers don't even know how to decrypt encrypted data. After the after the encryptions, you pay ransom, you are waiting for them to decrypt your data, and you can no longer hear from them, right? So that's like 70 to 65 to 70% of ransomware attacks never get recovered. The data is lost and it's lost forever, right? Denial of service attack, right? This one is attacker sending you traffic to disrupt your server, to overwhelm your server so that your server is flooded with internet traffic from multiple sources. That way, nobody have access to your server. You yourself don't have access to your server because they overwhelm your server with um, traffic. So now, because social engineering is one of the most pervasive cyber attacks, um, let's look at the common social engineering techniques. Phishing, right? Phishing is one of the common social engineering techniques cyber attackers use today. If you get into your mailbox today, you'll be seeing email that you don't even know the source, promising you what looks like impossible, right? And maybe there is a link there in the embedded in that email, and when you click it, it takes you to something else, right? So phishing is basically sending a deceptive email or message website that mimic legitimate entity, right? They send this email like they are your bank, copy the logo of your bank, and then they send it to you and expecting you to trust them that they're actually your bank. All right. So when you click it, it takes you something else. And sometimes, if you're a web developer, I've been a web developer for a very long time, and I usually get offers like this. They will try to pay you, they want to pay you huge money to design a website that looks like Zenith Bank, GT Bank, any of the banks, right? So that they can use to, you just like have a clone of that bank, you create it for them, and then they can be able to use it for their phishing attack. All right. They are willing to pay because by the time they send their client there, the client will believe that is the bank website and they now enter their sensitive information. At the end of the day, the cyber attack, we are going to look at how that happened in the background, right? And then we have baiting. Baiting is using an object to trick you. You know, like fish, for instance. You want to catch a fish, you need to put a bait in the hook. So when the fish comes to take the bait, or something you put in the hook, the fish get caught in the act. So same way here, they will trick you with something like trick you with something like dropping something like let's say a USB flash somewhere in your office close to where you usually park, and then you mistakenly insert into your computer to check what it is. Inserting it, you have already injected um, a malware into your computer, right? And some of the USB flash stick now, even you can slot it into your iPhone or your Android device today. So when you slot it in, you have already injected kind of malware into your system. So that's what they did. Then targeting is following that is an authorized person following authorized person closely to gain access into a restricted area, right? For techie people who work in the server room, you know, server room is restricted, and then you have your best friend or something and somebody who claims to like be your friend, and when you are going to the server room, he follows you to the server room, right? Why following you to the server room? Because he has gained your trust, and you feel like he's your friend. You now get comfortable with him or with her, and then he follow you to the server room. And when he gets to the server room, he can obtain any information he wants from the server room, right? And then pretending false identity or impersonating to gain trust. Yes, this is also one of the common social engineering by the bad guys. They impersonate people like Michael Jackson, your celebrities, basically, you know, to gain people trust and get whatever they want from people. And then look at how social engineering looks like. Phishing attack, right? The the attacker performs a reconnaissance attack. The user receives an email, right? It could be a PDF file, and the claim is either from your bank or the hospital supply, and you want to open that file to see the content. Immediately you open that file, it executes a malware, and that malware steals your credentials in your system or your phone, and that malware sends your sensitive data to that bad guy, right? The only thing you did here is opening a file. You just open that file and a whole lot of things has gone wrong. Then this is another one. This is the website that looks like a GT Bank website, right? It looks like a GT Bank website or any bank website, right? And then you are trying to log into your GT Bank account and your Zenith Bank account whatsoever. While you are trying to log in with your credential, the system is actually sending your credentials to the bad guy, all right? is actually sending the credentials to the bad guy. Once he grabs that your credential, he now goes to the main website and use that credential that he gets from this site that you thought it was GT Bank. He goes to the main GT Bank website and withdraw your money. So, how do you prevent this social engineering attack? You need to reject requests for help, right? In most cases, they look like they are vulnerable, requesting for offer or something like that and all that, right? You don't need to attempt to people sending you requests for help on social media and all that, right? Set your spam filters to hide. You set your spam filter to hide so you don't get emails that are marked as spam in your inbox. Secure your device. It can be physical or logical security. You can install antivirus and don't always leave your phone or your device where without in an open space, basically, so that they don't even have a physical access to it. Always be mindful of risk. Be vigilant. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody. Um, these are the tips to staying safe, right? From all this we have mentioned, these are the tips for staying safe. Before you entertain any website, check the URL. GTBank is gtbank.com. gtbank.com. Nothing more. It is not gt22bank.com. It's not gt at 24anything.com. It's GTBank. Just be sure that you know the URL before you click, right? So the fact that the site looks like GTBank, has logo, color, and everything doesn't mean it's GTBank. It can be any. I'm just using GTBank for example. It can be anything. It can be even Bincom website that somebody is trying to use. All right. Check the URL very well before you entertain anything that is on the website. Keep your software updated. Yes, many of us don't really know why our software, our application or software requires upgrade on regular update on regular basis. Because some of this software may be like a Windows operating system, and every operating system you use on daily basis, people or the bad guys are always researching on vulnerabilities on that operating system. And that the manufacturer, the developer of that operating system also have a security team who is always looking for vulnerability in their system. All right. So when they see it, they fix it. And once they fix it, they will now send you an update that we have updated versions of this operating system. Please update. That's one of the reasons why you regularly see updates. And another reason will be that they change pictures, they added pictures, functionalities, and they want you to update to it. So to gain that software developer support, the support of that developer, you need to be updated with that application. So whenever you see update to a new versions of your mobile app on your phone or your system, always do it to update it, right? Then use secure Wi-Fi network. Ensure that you don't just use public Wi-Fi to access your banking details and all that. You can still do packet sniffing to get your credentials while you are connected to a Wi-Fi that you don't know. Use strong password. Make sure your password is unique. It's easier for them to like brute force you with a weak password than when the password is very strong. It will be difficult for anybody to predict uppercase, lowercase, right positions, and special characters and all that. So ensure your passwords always have like special character, contains uppercase and lowercase and all that. So it will be very difficult for anybody to predict or brute force. Then you have require password. Make sure that your laptop is not just open and your phone is not just open. All right. Before anybody have access, before you have access to your phone, use a password. Before anybody have access to your laptop, use a password. Log them. Right. So aside this, you can also think of physical security. Don't keep your laptop outside where somebody will come and steal it. Don't keep your laptop where you don't have control over. All right. Whatever you are downloading from the internet with attachment, please um, be conscious of that, because you don't know what it that file you are trying to download contains. Some of them contain a malware, right? We don't know. It appears like an attachment, and when you download it, it takes over your computer. Some of us already have a malware running in our system, sending sensitive information to somewhere remotely, but we don't know, because we thought we got something online for free, and we start in your system, and it actually contains a malware that we don't know. Back up your system regularly. Ensure you have a very good, strong backup, so that whenever, for instance, ransomware attack, somebody encrypts your laptop, you no longer have access to your computer, you can always go back to your backup. Use multi-factor authentication. This is very, 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 very important. Your online banking ensures that before you log into your online banking app, any other banking app, some of the app, fintech app, even force multi-factor authentication. All right. So ensure that before somebody can log into your application, it requires two things. That is why we call it multi-factor. It requires two things. Not only your password. If the bad guys know your password, they still need your phone, right? They still need your phone to get OTP or temporary code, or maybe authentication application and all that. So by the time they get your password and they're trying to log into your banking platforms and they are not able to, because it requires OTP, then you lost your password, but your digital asset is still safe. All right. So ensure you always set this multi-factor authentication. Be mindful of social media privacy settings. It's not everything that everybody should know about you, right? So you need to keep certain information about you private on social media. For instance, if you regularly goes to a particular place, and it's showing in your profile, if I'm an attacker, I will know where to get to, right? I will know where to get to. And so many of that, so many information they can um, actually leverage on. So, tools you need to stay safe. You need anti-malware installed in your system. You need a VPN, and you need a password manager, and you need antivirus. For anti-malware, we have Malwarebytes and hardware antivirus, Firewall, search, and all that. Some of these anti-malware has a free version that you can actually use to keep you safe. And then VPN, yes, VPN shield you your IP address from any attackers intercepting, right? So it will be difficult for them to intercept your VPN, because your IP address has become a ghost online, right? It went through a tunnel, and then that VPN server has manipulated your IP, has changed it to something, so nobody can be able to trace your footprint online. Then you have your password manager. Password manager, we all here have more than maybe 20 passwords, and if they are not the same password, it will be difficult for you to manage, to remember. All right. So using password manager will help you. Meanwhile, the password manager has its own downside, but ensure that use a very, very, very extremely strong password for your password manager. A password that nobody will be able to crack, because the password manager will house every other sensitive password on in your life, basically. All right. Because you cannot remember because you cannot remember all your passwords, you need to store them somewhere safe. So use a very strong password to store them in your password manager, and don't always reuse your password. Reuse same password for different platform and applications. Since you have a password manager, use a very strong, complex password for your application, and then your password manager will help you store it. You know you can affect your password manager anywhere you go in the world, right? So antivirus, you can put antivirus well. Antivirus in most cases may not be necessary, because if you're on Windows Defenders actually have a couple of things that can actually protect you better than some antivirus. And sometimes when you install antivirus in your Windows or your operating system will now start looking at it as a virus, not treating it as a virus, and your antivirus also start treating your Windows Defenders or Windows Security as this as. But there are some that actually started from because Avast, for instance, and Kaspersky security actually start from where your Windows Defender stop. So lastly, we still have time. All right. Lastly, artificial intelligence and machine learning are being utilized to enhance the capability of cybersecurity system and improve threat detection and response. Microsoft developed Microsoft Security Copilot that help you integrate other Microsoft security. So yes, we are looking at a world where AI is going to fight crime, and then machine learning is going to be used as a tool to also fight crime. And most of these cloud service providers and some of the service providers are already integrating this into their system. So you don't really need to do a whole lot of things to fight cyber criminals, right? So even though they are becoming so sophisticated, um, they there is an increasing focus on proactive and predictive cyber security measures. So a lot of companies like Microsoft are investing in threat intelligence, um, security analytics, security automation to identify and respond to threats in real time. Thank you very much for being here. Sorry, do you have any question? Do you have any question? So,
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. Your presentation was really, really educative from my end. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. No question, right? All right. I think it's almost time for our stand up.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Samuel. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel, for taking up the responsibility to educate us. And we're grateful. Do have a productive day, everyone. Thank you.
You're welcome.